She's in the back. She's in the back seat. She's got the baby, and we're running. We're running southbound from the accident. Southbound from the accident.
Infants face terrifying situations that push the police into a frantic race against time to save them.
Oh my God! Please hurry!
In this video, we will look at 8 cases where law enforcement officers made life-saving rescues at the last possible moment. We begin with a chilling case where a baby was caught in the middle of a deadly shootout. On April 10th, 2020, in Portland, Oregon, police officers found themselves in a dire situation. It all began when they responded to a domestic violence call. A father, intoxicated and furious, had broken into his ex-wife's home and taken their 6-year-old son. By the time officers arrived, the father had fled with the boy, setting off a frantic manhunt. Shortly after, an officer spotted a man matching the suspect's description and initiated a high-speed chase. But things quickly spiraled out of control.
3611, it's a 2002 Toyota White RAV4, northbound on 97. And unit behind 32, you can call the pursuit. HG 40.
What the police didn't realize at first was that this wasn't just a desperate father, it was a dangerous criminal. The full extent of his threat became terrifyingly clear when he opened fire on the pursuing officers with an AK-47, seriously injuring one of them. The most horrifying part? His son was in the car the entire time. With no other options, officers were forced to engage, ultimately shooting and killing the suspect. But for the boy, the nightmare was far from over. When police finally rescued him, he was inconsolable, crying endlessly as he was rushed to the hospital, deeply traumatized by the events he had witnessed. He was physically unharmed, but we can't say the same for those children found locked in cages later in this video. But first, let's delve into the next one that highlights the urgency and heroism involved when police officers had to race against time to save the life of a kid in a critical situation.
Please hurry! Please hurry!
On June 13, 2020, in Pensacola, Florida, police received a call that led to an unimaginable outcome. Officer Kyle Skipper, a veteran with years of experience, was responding to a different incident when he was informed of a nearby emergency involving a child. Without hesitation, he rushed to the scene. What awaited him was a sight that even years of service couldn't prepare him for. A 3-year-old girl had been playing near a swimming pool when tragedy struck. She accidentally fell in the pool, and her family hadn't realized it until it was almost too late. When Officer Skipper arrived, the situation was dire. The little girl's skin had turned a frightening shade of blue, signaling she had been without oxygen for an alarming amount of time. Her life was slipping away before their eyes.
Move. Please hurry! Please hurry! Oh my God! Oh my God! Please hurry! Yes, they're here!
Despite Officer Skipper's frantic efforts to resuscitate her, the girl remained unresponsive, her pulse barely detectable. Panic began to set in. Time was against them, and every passing second brought them closer to an irreversible outcome. Skipper's desperation was palpable. He wasn't sure if he could bring her back. And then...
Follow the voice instruction.
Oh, she's moving. Come on. Did you get a pulse? Huh? I think I got a pulse.
Okay.
Get her on her side. She's moving. Tell him we got a pulse.
185, we got a pulse.
In a moment that seemed nothing short of miraculous, the impossible happened. Just as hope was fading, the girl began to stir. Slowly her chest heaved, and with great difficulty she started breathing again. Her fragile pulse strengthened, and the color began to return to her skin. Relief washed over the officers, but the battle wasn't over. They continued working tirelessly to stabilize her until paramedics arrived and rushed her to the hospital. Against all odds, the little girl made a full recovery. In a statement later made by the attending pediatrician, he revealed just how close they had come to losing her. Had the police arrived even a minute later, the story would have ended in tragedy. But thanks to their determination and quick response, a miracle unfolded that day. Fortunately, in this case, everything ended well. But what happens when the very parents meant to protect their children become their captors?
Sweetie, okay.
On June 11th, 2023, the police in Las Vegas, Nevada, faced what they later described as one of the most horrifying cases they had ever encountered. It all began when a frantic 33-year-old woman named Amanda Stamper called 911, claiming she had just escaped from her husband, who was threatening to kill her. What initially seemed like a domestic dispute took a far darker turn once officers arrived at the scene. As soon as they stepped inside the house, the officers were met with a sight that sent chills down their spines. 6 children lived in the home, but they were far from safe. The youngest among them appeared malnourished, their fragile bodies showing clear signs of neglect and violence. Meanwhile, the older children bore fresh and brutal injuries. Blackened, swollen eyes and deep bruises marked their small frames. It was immediately clear this was no ordinary case of family strife. But what truly haunted the officers was what one of the boys revealed once they managed to rescue him. The boy revealed a heart-wrenching truth. He and his siblings had gone days without food. Their only means of survival had been scavenging for scraps from the trash. Even more disturbing, their mother had witnessed their suffering and did nothing to stop it. This revelation ignited the officers' fury, and they were determined to ensure justice for the children. In the end, both Amanda Stamper and her husband Travis were arrested, charged with child neglect and a series of even more horrific crimes. While the children were physically unharmed, the emotional scars of such trauma would take far longer to heal. Thankfully, they were rescued in time. But in another chilling case, a father would go to terrifying lengths to defy the police, risking his own child's life in the process.
You need to drop the kid. I don't want your baby to get hurt.
Don't touch me!
Drop the goddamn kid!
Stop touching me!
On June 15th, 2019 in Arizona, a distress call came through to the police. A couple's heated argument had escalated into violence, with the man attacking his wife. Officers raced to the scene, knowing they had to act fast to prevent further harm.
Hey, come here. Bro, you're not allowed in here. Put your f***ing hands behind your back. Bro, you want a taser, bro? Put your hands behind your back, sir. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Put your hands on top of your head. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands on top of your head. Or you go get tased. Put your hands on top of your head. Okay? Listen to me. Do it now. Put your hands on top of your head. Do it now. You understand what I'm saying? Put your hands on top of your head.
But the situation spiraled out of control. The suspect, identified as Yvonne Okri, resisted arrest and in a desperate attempt to avoid capture, grabbed his own son and used him as a human shield, complicating the officers' efforts.
Look, you're gonna get tased. Put the kid down. Put the kid down.
No, don't get here, man!
Put the kid down. Do it now. Or you're gonna get tased.
No, no!
You're gonna get tased. Put the kid down. Put the baby down.
I'm not down.
Put the baby down. Do it now. Put the kid down.
Somewhere else, man.
Put the kid down.
As the officers tried to subdue him, they resorted to using a taser, but Okri still refused to comply. He held his child tightly, making it nearly impossible for the police to intervene without endangering the boy. One officer, in a tense and heart-pounding moment, attempted to wrest the baby from Okri's arms, knowing that any wrong move could result in disaster. But seeing the situation rapidly spiraling out of control, one of the officers made a critical decision. She quickly rushed the other children away from the danger zone, a decision that would prove to be life-saving. Just minutes later, the inevitable occurred.
Drop the goddamn kid.
Stop touching me!
Despite every effort the police made to de-escalate the situation, Yvonne Oakley refused to cooperate. With every passing second, the baby's life hung in the balance. Realizing they had no other options, the officers were forced to use their tasers. Fortunately, both Oakley and the child landed on a pile of clothes, cushioning the fall. The baby miraculously was unharmed, though the same could not be said for Yvonne Oakley. He was swiftly arrested, facing charges of child endangerment, domestic violence, and assault on his wife. But not all rescues end so cleanly. In another terrifying incident, a police officer had to perform the unthinkable to save a choking infant. On June 16, 2022, in Santa Catarina, Brazil, a couple arrived at the entrance of a police station, panic-stricken, clutching their infant in their arms. The baby had choked and was unable to breathe. Time was of the essence, and the police had no room for hesitation. One officer immediately took the baby into his arms, doing everything in his power to save the child's life. His quick thinking and skillful actions led to a miraculous outcome. The baby vomited and began breathing again, fully recovering. But in yet another case, the stakes were just as high, and the scene even more chilling.
Okay. Totally.
She's on Maui.
It's okay.
On May 19, 2018, police in Delray Beach, Florida, received a frantic call. A woman, reportedly under the influence of drugs, had taken her 2 young children onto the roof of her house. Neighbors had pleaded with her to come down, but she refused. A tragedy was on the verge of unfolding, and the police knew they had to act quickly to prevent the unthinkable.
All right. Everybody back up. Everybody back up.
It's okay. It's okay. Police, we're here to help, okay? We're here to help.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
It's okay.
No, wait. You're not a real one. I want to see your badge.
Look right here.
Okay, look.
I want to see your badge.
There you go.
Okay, really?
Yeah, real.
No, really, let me see.
Yeah, right here. See? It says police.
Sergeant?
Yeah.
No, you're not. It doesn't say sergeant. Okay.
Huh?
No,
Yeah.
for you.
The entire time, the police did their best to keep the situation under control and calm the woman, but they knew it could escalate at any moment. One officer stood below, ready to catch the children or even the woman if necessary, while 2 others climbed to the roof, trying to convince her to do the right thing. Then it happened.
It's okay. It's okay, kids.
Get the phone!
Okay, guys.
Get the phone! Only mom.
Open this. Okay, guys, we're gonna walk with Mike here, okay? Here, come walk with Mike.
No!
Guys, we're okay. It's okay. Big step, okay? Guys, we're walking this way. You guys want to see where we're walking to? We're gonna walk to that police officer, okay?
When the situation finally seemed to have calmed down, the woman suddenly erupted into maddening screams. Realizing she appeared to be hallucinating, the police officers quickly decided to act, pulling everyone inside as swiftly as possible. Thanks to their efforts, everyone was safely removed from the roof. Unfortunately, the outcome was not favorable for the woman, who ended up being admitted to a mental health treatment center and may still face criminal charges. Despite the shock of the ordeal, all the children were unharmed and were subsequently handed over to the children's department. This woman is the worst mother imaginable, having committed heinous acts that will seal her fate in chains for the rest of her life.
No! What's going on?
The scene in Albion, Michigan, on June 24, 2023, was straight out of a nightmare. A 15-year-old girl had frantically called 911, her voice filled with terror, claiming that her mother had lost control and attacked her younger siblings, ages 2 and 4. The police knew they had to act fast if there was any hope of saving the children.
Sheriff's Department.
Public safety. Got someone in here. Yep. That's a priority. Food. Get off! What's going on? Stand in. Roll.
When the officers arrived, they immediately heard the screams of the victims. Weapons drawn, they carefully searched the house, clearing each room with precision. What they found behind one door was the stuff of horror. Jessica Rick, the children's mother, was in a bathtub full of water, attempting to drown her 2-year-old baby. She had become a true monster in that moment, willing to take her own children's lives in a fit of madness. One officer, realizing that every second counted, rushed forward and grabbed the baby from the water, racing against time to save his life.
I got a child with a stab wound in the chest. I need medical priority 1.
I'm clear, stab wound to the chest.
Wake up, baby.
Stand up.
The mother was drinking it in the bathtub when we found it. She's gone.
Breathe for us, son.
Breathe.
Breathe for us, son. Come on.
Breathe for me, baby. Come on. You alright?
There you go.
Keep breathing.
There you go. Eyes are open. Good girl. Yeah. Keep breathing, honey.
Thankfully, his swift actions worked, and the child began to breathe again. But this was only the beginning. In another room, the police discovered a 4-year-old boy, drenched in blood, who had survived by hiding under the bed. The most horrifying part, this wasn't the only thing. She had even forced her children to drink cleaning products. Both children were rushed to the hospital, where they were treated for their injuries and shock. Jessica, on the other hand, faced charges that would likely ensure she spend the rest of her life behind bars. She was admitted to a psychiatric facility for evaluation, but the gravity of her actions meant she would likely never see freedom again. Something similar occurred in another case where a woman attempted to flee from the police, ultimately sending her son to the hospital.
Still high rate of speed coming up to the creek. She's got the baby and we're running. We're running.
On June 15, 2018, the Texas Police Department initiated an arrest that escalated into a terrifying chase. The police identified the driver of a car as Caitlin Rodriguez, a wanted thief. Instead of complying with their orders to pull over, she accelerated, putting everyone at risk. The situation quickly spiraled out of control. That's when the situation shifted from an arrest to a frantic manhunt, and the police had to race against time to apprehend her before a tragedy occurred.
Traffic is light to moderate, almost struck another vehicle passing. Flyway Patrol just got a spike. Went off road, looks like she's about to wreck. No, she's still got it. She's now on the access across the median. Looks like she's taking military drive. Looks like they're going to crash almost. Stand by, still going. We're going military southbound. 13, we're in oncoming traffic now. Oncoming traffic. And now center median, 13 southbound from 90 proper. I think the troop got her. Okay, it looks like her front left tire might be low. We're through a red ball intersection. She just blew through that. Her arm is sticking out of the door right now, out of the window. We're just passing Palms Road.
ISO.
The suspect was already speeding at about 160 km/h and was willing to do anything to avoid capture. The police had no idea that the situation was about to take a terrifying turn.
Hold here, 1050, 1050, 1050 and 2536 and military. She's in the back seat. She's got the baby and we're running. We're running southbound from the accident.
The entire case was already spiraling out of control, but what Rodriguez did escalated her crimes to a horrifying new level. She had just caused a catastrophic accident, all while having a mere 5-month-old baby in her car. It was then that the police grasped the true gravity of the situation. Rodriguez was clearly out of her mind, and the life of that innocent baby hung in the balance, teetering on the edge of unimaginable danger.
Received vehicle crashed at 2536 at Military. Female with a baby is running southbound from the crash.
The suspect dashed into the middle of the road, desperately searching for a way to evade the police. In a moment of sheer desperation, she made a reckless decision and attempted to steal a car. To make matters worse, the driver of that vehicle was a mother with her child in the backseat, meaning Rodriguez was endangering yet another innocent life. In a flash, a police car screeched to a halt in front of the vehicle, and an officer emerged, gun drawn, determined to make Rodriguez face the consequences of her crimes. But the story didn't end there. While the suspect was handcuffed and taken to the police department, her own baby had to be rushed to the hospital, all because of that one disastrous accident. Thanks to the swift action of medical professionals, the child was able to make a full recovery. In the end, Caitlin Rodriguez, 29, was arrested and charged with child endangerment, possession of a controlled substance, and attempting to flee from the police. Thank you for watching. If you found this video intriguing, make sure to check out one of the 2 videos on your screen right now for more shocking true crime stories. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next video.